And I know I've been trying to find a guest host this evening, and I've come up with Fyrstikken, the creator of Quatloo Trader. Is that correct, Fyrstikken?
Yeah, hi.
Okay, so we're going to talk about your trader tonight. Everybody's not expecting you as a guest, so we might even take some calls to ask about. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually familiar with the QTL trader. I've used it a little bit, so it should be an interesting conversation. I'm going to be enlightened because Fyrstikken knows things about it that I have no idea. We're talking about how you can manipulate markets with QTL trader.
Yeah, the QTL trader is, I guess you can call it a coin management program, because that's what it is. And the idea behind it was, I've been buying a lot of coins over a long period of time, so I've been familiar with bag holding a lot of them, and trading them manually just became a big problem for me. So I wanted to have some automatic helpers to do that. And back in those days, there really wasn't any good program that you could buy off the shelf, and those that you could buy off the shelf, they were poorly coded, coded in a hurry, and you had to give up some of your API keys to the developer for him to hard code it into it, because he was afraid to lose money, with the cat trader. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yes, I use it also. So
yeah,
you obviously use it too, right? Or have?
Well, yeah, I've
used it
for Bitcoin, and I felt like it was underdeveloped. And it was overpriced, was the feeling I got. And I also had a feeling that maybe it wasn't that secure, because they had separate ANS at the time, and there was a time I didn't know what that software was, who owned it, who operated it, what license was what. And I needed a power tool. I really needed a power tool that could manage millions of coins over many exchanges, and also do automatic arbitrage. So I was planning and designing this, and then I get I guess you can call stalked on Twitter, like you did, to get me on your show. There was this two guys on Twitter that
I didn't stalk you. I didn't stalk you on Twitter. Stop it at that, because I was a big fan of what was being done, and I was in a panic. I was looking, is there any good trading software? The first trading software, I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but the first good trading software, which wasn't good, was some software that was offered off BTCE, and it was really confusing. So sorry for interrupting you there.
No, that was no, but you bring a good point. There wasn't really good software there, and I didn't have time to sit and deal with all these shitcoin bags. I needed automatic support. So I was designing this, and I'm being headhunted by these two guys on Twitter that asked me if I can come and do some promotion for Quatloo coin. And the first thing I did was I checked the opening page on Bitcoin Talk, and I saw the love, coin reward, block reward, and the high pre-mine. The developer basically had all the coins himself, and just a fraction of them had been mined by miners. So my attitude towards it was like, no way. I mean, there is no way I can go out there and promote this coin. And and this one guy from Twitter, he was on me and he was saying, but you should at least talk with the developer. I mean, he really knows how to code, and he's an honest guy, and you know, I think you can trust him. You know, you should really give him a chance. So I was thinking, okay, I can at least speak with him, you know, and see if he really can code. Most developers in you know, coin developers, they don't really know how to code. So I went down on IRC on Freenode and found him in Quatloo Coin, and I PM'd him, you know, and I asked him about his intentions with his coin and one and the other, and you know, he gave me good answers. He gave me straight up good answers, and he was asking me for what he could do to get, you know, to make Quatloo Coin popular, because it was actually about to be delisted from Bittrex at the time. It had no buy support and it had absolutely no trading back or forth whatsoever. It was dead in the water. So I said, you know, I've been toying with the idea of making a trader program, a coin management program, and is that something you'll be able to do? And I showed him my designs from Imgur, and he looked at them, and we talked on Skype, and I showed him screenshots from my other designs, and he was like, yes, I can build this, and we just started from there. I said, okay, if you can build this, we'll make it so that people that want to use it, including me, I don't have a special version of Quatloo Trader, exists no special version of it. Everybody has to hold some Quatloos on Bittrex exchange in order to use the trader. So that was made, and we created the first conditional freeware in the history of freeware, and the first software to use a cryptocurrency as activation key. Has never been done before, and for those that use the Quatloo Trader know now that it is a really powerful tool, and the more professional you become, I mean, the better gamer you are in the game of coins, you know, it is just an awesome invention. It does stuff that other traders doesn't do at all, because you know, it has my mentality behind it. You know, it has the whale function in there, because, you know, sometimes I'm a whale, and when I'm a whale, I need to have whale functions, right? and it has this wonderful thing that, you know, you say you have 1 billion coins in tips, you know, Fedora coin, and you want to sell them all, but you don't want to sell them all in one big lump. You want to sell them over a long spread, you know, and you calculate, and you just set up how many you want to sell and what the spread is, and boom, it lists them up nice on the shelves up there, and it is all done with a few clicks, and you can move on to the next coin in your portfolio, and or just start another version of the trader that you set to do some ping pong trading on a spread, and another one that does some scalping on another spread, and you can play different bands. You know, you can buy and sell to yourself. You can basically, my idea was that one person that is sitting and bag holding all the coins that got dumped on him is supposed to be able to at least make it look like there is 1,000 men trading the coin. So that is Quatloo Trader, a very powerful software indeed.
I used it, and now I have a few questions. First one, something I did not realize about what you've created, the first conditional freeware.
Yes.
Really interesting, actually. That's a pioneer statement there. Absolutely.
Yes, it is. It was. Yeah, I guess so. Pioneering something new.
It's strong. It's probably the strongest security on the planet right now. How do you fake out that you own more coins? Right?
Well,
How can you trick the program into letting you use it for absolutely free?
Well, if you can figure out a way, please come and claim the bounty. We've had people that have claimed that they've got hacked it, but and tried to blackmail us into giving away bitcoins and Quatloos and whatnot, but they could never provide us with a real hacked version. And second, if somebody is able to hack it, I mean, it is dealing with your API keys on the exchange. It's pretty delicate information that you're sending back and forth there. So I would just assume that people would steer away from it if it should ever get cracked. But we use enterprise grade obfuscation on it. It's fairly secured. I mean, people are welcome to try and crack it.
And also, it's related to the crypto coin using that's what makes it a condition, right? Is that you have to own so many of that coin, which you are not the coin creator, you're the QTL trader, software creator. And you have to have that. You have to have so many QTL coins to be able to activate special features on the trader software.
Yes, like 3,000 coins, and you're golden to play rough on Bittrex, for example. And for 3,000 coins, you can run 100 version of the same software. It's an endless possibility.
I'm gonna throw something out there to you. Just totally came as a bubble in mind. Maybe because, and I'm going to mention a couple different things here all at once. So QTL coin got pumped and really hard, destroyed, hard to make a recovery back from that. A lot of people who did have that happen to them are probably in fear of returning. So we're now at a new floor that it's just been bouncing around for like 1,300 to 27. Sometimes it's all over the place right there.
Yes.
So now, have you ever considered giving a 90-day where everybody can use all of your features for like 1,000 coins instead of the 10,000, and being able to somehow disable their copy when it comes to that, or I know what I'm all of a sudden what I ask is like really hard to do, but is there possibilities of doing those kind of things with having the conditional freeware by using the coin for security to unlock different features?
Well, of course, the possibility is there, but I don't think we want to do that. It will take time to do it, and I mean, it is 0.06 bitcoins for 3,000 Quatloos, and you only need to hold them. Like you go into the library and you borrow a book. You when you're done with it, you deliver it back, and that's how it works.
So you mentioned something about was there a lot of coins that were pre-mined by the dev?
No, it wasn't. I mean, that's why the spike never got so high up there, because we ran out of coins. Everybody wanted to use the Quatloo trader, and some people didn't want to sell. So at 28,000 Satoshi, or what it was, there simply wasn't any.
ADHD.
Yeah, there wasn't more to buy. There was just like 1 million coins to go around, and everybody needed to hold a certain amount of them for the Quatloo trader to work. So they couldn't sell them. So, but Quatloo is a script coin that you can mine, and right now there exist like 3 million coins, and we're gonna mine 100 million of them over the next many years. So, of course,
now it's a little harder to pump now.
Well, it is never hard to pump it, but you know that is. I mean, there is always a demand for some Quatloos every day.
See, to me,
Always somebody.
Quatloo didn't pump as much as it was organic hype. Just like you said, everybody wanted to use it all at once.
Yes, that's true.
You know,
Now, what we gonna do though in the future? I mean, right now, me and Marcus are finishing up another project that we are doing, which is the cash register for cryptocurrency that we are launching now on February the 1st, which enables anybody to simply install a cash register app on their Windows machine. And connect that app to their website, check out and accept cryptocurrency from anybody, wherever it is that they have a web shop or, you know, something they sell. And they can sit there with their computer at home and, you know, manage their own money. And the money, of course, will go directly from their customers directly to their own exchange accounts, you know, and be managed the way they want it to. So you can, you know, soon pay with Dogecoin and Litecoin and Blackcoin and whatnot, you know, everything. That's a revolution. Nobody has made that before.
No, not yet.
So,
depends how much longer it is in development for you.
No, we are finished. We are just polishing it now for release. We were a couple of days over deadline. We were supposed to release the 25th, but we had some upgrades we needed to do with the database, and also to write all the documentation and everything. You know, the installation and, you know, all the stuff that makes it look nice for the new band user.
Yeah.
So we allowed ourselves 1 extra week of development so that we can, you know, deliver the product like we delivered Quatloo Trader, you know, unbreakable and useful and user friendly.
So are there inside Quatloo Trader, because most listeners probably haven't used it before. You mentioned that there's whale functions. There's also ping pong functions, which is pretty much every general user will be using a ping pong function, right?
Yeah.
So if you're doing a whale function in your trader, do you use a single instance of the software?
Yeah.
Multiple instances?
Yeah, you only need to be one whale at a time, you know, and have 12, 15 bots up that just act like small fish. If you want to trade like that, but in coins that have naturally high activity, you can use the Quatloo Trader to arbitrage between CryptC, Bittrex, and Poloniex, for example.
Well, see, and I couldn't get that to work. I couldn't get it to work. But
you need more coins.
I think so.
15,000 Quatloos you need for
I need to be holding on to a whole bunch more shit bags.
So and after the cash register, we are going back, you know, to developing the next generation coin management trader program. You know, it'd be like Quatloo Trader version 3 or something. Because we've been working on this and developing and taking requests from everybody for a really long time. So you can just imagine how the next version is gonna look like. If you like the Quatloo Trader you have now, oh man, you're gonna love the one that we have on our step to be released soon.
Well, so this is a totally different perspective, direction. Now you have obviously studied the rest of the traders that there are available. So let's get this really dominating and out there to everybody so they understand this. We can trade Bitcoins for all altcoins with 2 known traders right now. Is that correct? And there is a third one that I don't know if I can't get it to work, or I'll look that up in a minute. There is
I'm sure there are many now. I mean, we got a lot of.
If they're not written in English, maybe in Chinese. Not that I know of. I would have noticed. Maybe not. Maybe there is. But
there was a lot of people that said that they were gonna develop a trader program and stuff. So I just assumed that they would, but maybe they just ran away like they always do.
Yeah, well, there is this other one here. I'm going to mention it right now. GNS. GNS was supposed to be making some trader, and I don't know if it's happening or not. And I have no idea.
Is that Gnosis coin?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you had Keycoin. They were going to make something called a Key Trader.
Okay.
I don't know what that was, but...
There was another one too, some other thing that was going to incorporate a trader. I was going to say it's Miracle Umbrella. What was it? I don't know. But right now that's working on the planet, that's useful on the planet, is your trader, which is called Quatloo Trader, and CXC Auto Trader. Is there anything else that is worth mentioning that you can use, that you've used?
Well, not for those exchanges. There are QT Trader if you trade an OK coin and the Bitcoin dollar pairs out there. But I personally like the CXC dollar pair and the CX dollar pair, because I mean they are smaller, but I have a gut feeling that they take their customers seriously, and they could use more volume.
Oh, for sure. At CXC?
I like CXC, I really do. I have, and you know, they have not listed our coins. They have not listed Quatloos, and they have not listed the checkout coin for the cash register. So, so I hope that will. You know, I like to trade there.
What is checkout coin's ticker? What's checkout
CXC. CXC. Like the nerdish version of sexy. CXC.
Nicey. That's awesome. Sexy coin. Everybody buy sexy coin. They'll be looking for sexy. They'll be
CXC checkout coin. So, you know, we were doing this checkout coin. Coin checkout cash register for cryptocurrency ICO to get crowdfunding, you know, because it cost a lot of money to make these apps, you know, that everybody's gonna be using, and we need to take time to do it and do it properly. So we were doing this ICO, you know, and we spent 36 days on it. And we were making like 85 bitcoins in total, while at the same time the Gov miners were having an ICO also called Paycoin, and I don't know how much they raised, you know, but if they would just give us a little tip, that would have been nice. I felt like we were in the middle of you know, a name rape, you know. We were checkout coin. We were going to develop something that everybody out there will be able to use, and we wanted to make it conditional freeware so that it would be free to use for everybody, you know, in condition of holding coins. But we only raised 85 bitcoins, so we couldn't go for that model because we had to dig deep into our own pockets in order to pay the cost of everything.
Instead, Paycoin is useful for what right now?
I don't know. I mean, it is worth more than Litecoin.
And
I don't know. I mean,
I'm not sure either. I have
cash register guy, so I guess
I have no desire.
Useful to pay with if they have buy support.
Who are you paying in that scenario? I'm not sure. I stayed out of Paycoin. I actually, my only Paycoin that I had, I threw it in crypto trouble and I lost it. So it's all good.
I felt they were a scam, to be honest. You know, like I feel like most things in crypto has been a scam for the most part since mid 2014.
Since May.
Yeah.
There was a big stir up, wasn't it? The summer was aggressive. For sure. Pardon me. When I say summer here, you know how small a window summer here is.
Yeah, you have no time to lose. You have to rent those jet skis.
Exactly. Something that's really interesting that kind of comes to mind. So you were trying to develop a conditional freeware that was going to be used for POS systems, basically. And
yes.
Paycoin ICO came up and trashed all of the highlight of you, and you basically got stuck because everybody dropped $30 million into Paycoin or whatever that crazy number.
That's what they got, man. I wish we got that, like, and Bitcoin crashed during our ICO also. So in the end there, what we got out of that, it's I think people get more money on Kickstarter just for designing a new balloon or something. So that was I wanted to call it off. I was really thinking, this is suicide. We're gonna go and make this app. This is hard work. This is like 300,000 lines of code and no dedicated work. We're gonna go ahead and do this with this little funding. It is micro funding. But we are not greedy. So we managed to get a good plan for it. And what made me decide to stay on the project was that Blackcoin came along and saw us, and they supported us. They went in with funding from private members and from the Blackcoin Foundation, and that's the only cryptocurrency that has supported us with money for development. Everybody else have been absent. And, because they want Blackcoin to be accessed everywhere out there, so they have big plans for that. And I would hope to see Dogecoin come online with us, and realize that we are also a cash register for Dogecoin and for Darkcoin and for Whitecoin and Bluecoin, and every tradable cryptocurrency is included in our cash register that is traded on Bitrex, Poloniex, or Cryptsy.
The three titans. I really like Cryptsy, and I'm gonna get crapped on it because everybody's gonna say, "Oh yeah, Cryptsy," but there's something about its trading interface. And just like you said, their staff cares. They add coins quite regularly that should be there.
Yeah, and sometimes they add too much coins that probably could wait.
Yeah, there's not a lot of delistings on Cryptsy though.
No, I understand, and that also takes a toll on the hardware park that I need to maintain in order to run all those coin daemons, and the entire processing system in the background there must be pretty heavy as well.
Yeah,
just imagine your own PC there with all those wallets running at the same time,
I don't know. I'm a bit of a I like Linux, so couple. You can make some pretty big computers nowadays.
Yeah, that is right. I mean, but those wallets, you need hard drive and you need processors and you need RAM and you need security layers and everything for it to function and an operative staff 24/7 because it's dealing with money transaction every second.
So Encryptcy's never been hacked, has it? As far as I know.
No, it's been they tried, and it has been fudded and rumored, and but no, as far as I know, they've never been hacked. People complain that withdraw and deposit takes a long time on Cryptsy, but I think that is just a time delay. That is an extra security that they have.
I got a listener question.
Sure.
What do you think the cheapest, best POS coin is?
The best and cheapest proof of stake coin?
Yes.
I mean, that was a very big question, wasn't it? You want to have just... What's your intention? Is it you want to own a majority of a coin? Is that what you want?
Said like Reddit coin or like Panda coin.
I don't know.
Is Reddit POS now? I don't think Reddit's POS coin, is it?
I have no idea.
POW coin. But so how do you, when you're using this software that's going to accept retailer or purchases, how does it change the, and if a person purchases in Litecoin or in Dogecoin, does it give them option? Do they change that to fiat right away?
Yeah, I mean, by default setting is like this, that the coin go to the best exchange or the best exchanges, depending on the volume. And then it's being dumped to Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin is being sold to dollar, or it is being dumped to dollar, where that can be done directly, so that the merchant always win.
Right, like I understand. Then, so it's kind of like a arbitrage system in the background.
Yes, it calculates the order depths on across exchanges and find out where it needs to send the coins in order to fill that. In order to not make a big crack in the market, but also to make the merchant always win. If the buy volume is on Cryptsy and no buy volume is on Poloniex, it will choose to send it to Cryptsy because that is where the Bitcoin is. So, for example.
Yeah, I understand. So what fuels you to put you into wanting to create, because retail users are POS systems, not POS as in, I mean, point of sale systems. Blah. What drove you at this interest, other than you and I both know POS systems generally, when they're installed in a store, cost thousands and thousands of dollars. They usually have proprietary software.
Yes.
Only maintained by the developer, and in some cases they even have proprietary hardware. Yay.
Yeah, some have. It's like those Unix servers that some corporate choose to have and connect the network, and if you have a supermarket with 60 cash registers and a controller that sits and monitors all those, and there is a lot of things going on in the world of those systems. I just wanted to make a system that works. I mean, we are at a point now where I feel like if we don't do this, then it's never gonna happen. And my idea with the cash register was that anywhere in the world where somebody wants to be an entrepreneur and sell services or sell products should be able to accept cryptocurrency and get those exchanged fast and instantly into whatever it is that the entrepreneur wants to have in the other end. And I don't want to have a system that relies on a middleman. We saw how that ended with Moola and MooPay and how other middleman companies have just been big Ponzi's that have run out of business as soon as possible. So the cash register is a cash register that you hook up to your exchange accounts, and it does payment processing for you. And you are your own middleman, but you are your own middleman. So in this scenario here, you will have to manage your own money that the customer sends to you. So, I mean, in theory, you could say that with this cash register, you could open a heroin shop anywhere in the world and accept payment in any cryptocurrency. You can also integrate it in a fully legit web shop and sell books and stamps and gadgets for cryptocurrency. It is really neat. It is very fast and accurate, and yeah.
So, what's your feeling on anonymous coins?
Well, I think that people can choose to be anonymous when they want to.
Well, you mentioned you could like open a heroin store. You could have like opium store, big acid. Yes. Just like here's all the acid in the world. You sit at your computer. How would that work? How would you be able to sell? Maybe not a big stack of acid, but
all right.
How would I sell now that with your device? Do I have to type in the customer? Does the customer have to come to my place? Can I sell over the internet to them?
For example, so you're a drug dealer, okay, and you want to serve customer in another region in your own country, so that you can send it with a courier and never have to meet the customer, for example. I'm just guessing. I watch a lot of movies. I get ideas. So the way the cash register work, right? I mean, it is an app. You install it on your computer, and your computer is connected to the internet. And somewhere on the internet, you have a web shop. It can be on an anonymous IP address, some obfuscated stuff, rerouted on Tor, whatever you want, whatever it is that you have access to. Anyway, out there, you place the other end of the app, the web end of that app, which gives your customer, you just put in the products that you want to sell, and out on the web end, your menu comes out, and when people purchase them, they go to the checkout and they pay, just like they would with any other thing. The only difference here is, you are not connected to a PayPal account, you are not verified, blah, 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 but you are connected to the exchanges. So the cash register doesn't care who you are or what you do, okay? That is not my business. But in the future, I predict that the exchanges probably will be forced to put up regulations, to avoid the heroin shops to be successful. But, in theory, you can. That's just a simple way to explain it, so people understand that they can use it for whatever they want.
Let's see. I'm using this Dogecoin coin, Dogecoin Dark. Just because most people, you familiar with that coin?
Yeah, I've seen it.
There's lots of, so it's anonymous technology. So I'm stocking up a little bit in hopes that Silk Road 10.0 comes online.
Well, that is the thing. I mean, I saw this in a vision. You know, when I designed the cash register, I saw this in a vision that in the future, everybody will be able to open their own Silk Road. Like, I'm creating a new paradigm in financial services here for the white world and for the black world. And I don't know what the world is going to do with it, but we're going to release it on February 1st. And
that's right shortly here.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 27th of January today.
And you've got a good timeline. It looks good for release.
Oh yes, we have. We've been working since November.
Okay, so what is the CXC? Is that right? The CXC coin?
Yeah. Well,
that was
the
just
CXC.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, the CXC coin, the checkout coin, not pay coin, not check coin, but checkout coin, was the token that we released to get funding for our development. But we didn't get enough funding. So we changed the plan a little bit. So instead of having conditional freeware like with Quatloo, we're gonna sell each cash register license for $59. And as you said, I mean, POS systems cost thousands of dollars. So $59 is what it's gonna cost any entrepreneur in any country, Americas, Africas, Asia's, Middle East, doesn't matter. $59, and you will be able to set up shop wherever it is that you are, to whoever it is that you target, and get your money safe and secured directly to where it is that you prefer the coins to be exchanged.
So we're gonna be able to use this piece of software to sell things on the internet, and we're gonna have to own CXC coins to make the software work. It's not conditional freeware.
No.
Sorry.
The CXC coin is a token that we honor. You see, we make we made a buyback machine that is hooked up to the $59 that people buy when they buy a cash register license to use. They pay $59 on our website, and we use those $59 to buy up Bitcoins and then buy up CXC from the market. You know, because we honor our investors that helped us to get this development going, and we want to own the coin back in the end. So, because we believe in cryptocurrency long term, so we want to support CXC with buying it up and supporting it in the buy wall by a corporate design that is embedded into the into the business model of the checkout coin project.
Okay, so then is there any security like how you have for the QTL? What is it that secures your POS software?
Oh, we have a cryptographic licensing, enterprise type licensing that costs a lot of money. That will take care of that.
So then people can't just make copies of your software?
No, of course not. It will be obfuscated strongly, and it will be, enterprise level, like normal enterprise grade software.
Yes. So we're gonna take a quick break here for a minute because I need a drink real bad.
Sure.
We'll be right back with you. You're listening.
All right.
It's Rick and Frickens. I got it. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, it's not Frankenstein. It is Fyrstikken. Fyrstikken, yes.
My poor throat. So try Fyrstikken. I'll be right back with Fyrstikken, the Quatloo trader creator. I wanted to ask you actually earlier about that, but we've talked about a few different things, and you talked about coin management, and I noticed that QTL Trader is a dream that way. You can withdraw coins, you can deposit coins, you can move them around from exchange to exchange way easier than what you can. Like the time saving, it takes a little bit of time to set that all up, but once you got it set up, it's really slick.
Yeah, well, it is a coin management program to manage coin with. It is like a coin operating system. Everybody needs that if they are big in coins.
Well, I tried to explain to somebody that I use QTL and I do this, and then it does this for me and this, and then I use CAT for this, and they're like, well, why would you need two? I'm like, but they do totally different things. They're nothing alike. Well,
exactly.
One's a mathematical calculation.
It is two tools in the toolbox.
The both of them, you mean?
Yeah, like two screwdrivers, one flat and one star.
Yeah, Quatloo Trader it's more like one of those multi-screwdrivers, though.
Yeah, we are the power drill from the vault with all the extra stuff to it, But that's us. Sometimes you don't need that, Sometimes you need those teeny tiny ones that you use inside computers and stuff, when you need to be careful. And maybe other programs are better at that than we are, to margin trading and stuff.
And then to use your trader, they have to buy stake in a coin called QTL coin, and so that trader, pardon me.
Or they can mine it with just a simple script ASIC. It's not so high difficult. It's like 100 or something.
Okay,
they can mine it for the next 100 years if they want to. It's a gift.
And then when the cost of running QTL Trader is 3,000 QTL coins, that gets you can turn. You can basically turn it. It's pretty much turned on right there. You can do a lot with it with 3,000 coins. Is that correct?
Yeah. You can do everything you want with 3,000 except auto arbitrage.
Right. Okay. So 3,000 coins currently cost about 0.06 Bitcoin. Is that what you had said?
Yeah, I think so. Look at Bittrex on the price there. It shouldn't be so much.
I watch it on my phone. I got that Bitcoin checker, actually. I watch it for 10 or 20% movements all the time. It's a pretty neat coin. I've been following the development of all the traders that I could figure out to download and actually operate in them. Yours is one of them. The other one is...
Okay, so 0.066 BTC for 3,000 Quatloos now if I should sell the 3,000 I have in this portfolio.
And that would cost a person in US dollars approximately...
0.06, let's see.
Yes. Wow.
Like $15.
$15.
Yeah.
And it's a $15 that you can get a refund on at any time you want.
Well, yeah, you can sell it back at market price. It can be lower, it can be higher, But yeah, basically you can sell that back. You can get your money back.
thing as far as I'm concerned when there's no other software out there.
No,
So,
I don't think so.
unless it's private. Now, you have advanced features, the arbitrage. How many coins do you need to hold to use that feature now?
I like to have at least 15 bitcoins on each exchange to be effectively doing arbitrage.
Okay, no, I don't mean that, but we'll get to that in a minute too. I mean,
Okay.
how many coins or how many QTL coins do you need to hold to use the arbitrage function?
15K.
15,000, which is a little bit more. And I've been up and down on what I own, so that's a little bit more. It's about a half a Bitcoin right now. Is that about right?
0.334.
Okay, so about $100. I'm just guessing again, unless you want to give us the right exact stat there.
Yeah, $84. You weren't that far off.
Okay, so it cost you under $100 to use what could be said as one of the most advanced softwares right now, because there is nothing else really made that is offered to the public as far as I know. And then to use this arbitrage function, though, so this isn't just a small game running this function. You need lots of Bitcoins in there to have it be able to do everything that it's capable of doing. Now, from my use of it, how many coins would you throw in if you had 15 Bitcoins fueling it, and you were arbitrage trading on other coins? How many coins would you have it running all at once?
At least 7 Bitcoins worth of the coin that you are arbitraging in, and 15 Bitcoins that support your position for leveraging. So that you can, when the market goes down, you can let the market go down on the other exchanges while supporting a buy wall across the exchanges, so you don't crash the market. Or do the opposite. If the market goes up on one exchange, you can pump on the other exchange, and short into the pump on the exchange that is pumping, and leverage the price up there, because and anyway the market is going to counter react, so you might as well just be the one to do it instantaneously. So,
and you're only doing one coin out of a time when you're doing that.
No,
do you recommend?
I do different variations. Sometimes my machines are busy, other times they are not doing anything. It depends on the market.
Okay, all right. So you're not just fully loading a whole bunch of them. You're going at a market that you want to be in when you're running that feature in your bot.
Yeah, my trader software are little bots that are, they are soldiers guarding my positions in my game. And I monitor them and adjust them to my needs constantly, so... have you seen the movie Wild Wild West with Will Smith? And remember the guy in the wheelchair that suddenly came up in that huge armor that he controlled?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Quatloo Trader is kind of like that, for coin managing. You become it's like a man operating a digger, a big machine or a crane or something, or a ship or a big jumbo jet, something that is bigger than you. With Quatloo Trader, I mean, I remember when I tested the Quatloo Trader for the first time before anybody else, and I did some of the whale tasks, in a coin that had like 15, 16 active people in it. So I put on a program, on overdrive, so it suddenly looks like, there is an armada of traders coming in. And And the reactions I got from the IRC chat, people getting almost heart attacks, and they have never seen anything. Where do all this volume come from? And when I exited that test there, I had made 18 bitcoins out of that. And I think there was like 62 people in the channel, or 72 people or something, when my test was over there. So it was incredible, to be able to be the pioneer, when everybody else were trading manually, and then come with this huge machine. So yeah, it was powerful.
Let's this is gonna be a treat for the listeners. I might actually clip this from the replay. Okay, so let's go through a walkthrough with your software a little bit, because you've told me a couple things, and I kind of, I've used it, and I don't know the software, but I know it pretty good, and I'm a little lost with what you're telling me, and I happen to own a fairly large supply of a coin, so yeah. I can probably follow what you're trying to tell me and see if I can understand things a little bit better. So something that I'm completely confused about is this. Is you say your little army and the little arms, and I know what that is to me. That's like the 7 other copies I run across a whole bunch of different computers.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? And this is one of the great features of your trader, actually, of any trader. Let's watch it. I won't publish this until after I buy a whole bunch of your coins. Okay, so I got a vape burning in my pocket. That was awesome. Okay, so when you say you run these extra little armies, now do you run extra bots just on one computer, or is there some feature that I'm missing where you can run multiple tasks inside of the existing trader?
No, yeah, I run. You can run all the tasks on one trader, but when you run all the tasks on one trader, you need to open a new trader just to keep doing it. You want to.
Yeah, because you want
to create a. You want to paint the picture in the graph, make the OHLC chart, and make people study it afterwards and wonder what the heck was all that.
Well, it's what I'm trying to get at is just technical operation of the bot to exactness. So now, if I want to run multiple instances of your bot, do you recommend me just relaunching the same executable or making individual folders for the number of bots that I'm going to run?
No, you can just run the same executable, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, it is made so that you can run as many copies as you want on the same machine.
Which again is one of the amazing things about your software, where the cat trader, you can't do this. So this is a strong mention from me. I noticed some really failing parts of cat trader, and like you said, it's kind of expensive, 0.85 of a Bitcoin, at least to trade on Bittrex. And yeah. QTL is significantly more inexpensive. Okay. So,
yeah, it is practically free.
Yeah. So then, if you run, say, 5 of your instances as smaller trading tasks, like we say, they do things for you, and other people would have to run it and look at it, and like we've talked about a little bit. I've told you kind of how I used it, and I know that I take 2, 3, or 4 smaller instances of it, and I just do small trades to try and push the price up or pull the price down. I haven't used the whale function though while the bots are doing that. Now that's something probably that I should have been trying. Is that my understanding now? Because I get a new interesting effect from that, would I?
Well, that is the wonder. You can experiment and draw your own conclusions. Because on the other side you have the market, and they can be unpredictable too.
Yes. So, what do you make of this then? Anytime that I take QTL Trader and I join CXC and I find a stale dead market, and I buy up some coins and then I stop buying, and then I throw QTL just doing some small tasks in the market, that there's always some response there to what I'm doing.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. That's logic, because every time you sell, somebody buys. Every time you buy, somebody sold. They want to check out what is going on, why they sold, why they got sold to.
So you believe that these are still other people's bots just waiting on that market that are silent?
Well, not only bots, but you have sell orders and buy orders that people place there, and hope that they get filled at some point. And when they get filled, they wonder, either they have gotten more coins or they have got more bitcoins, right? So they wonder what happened. They go and check the trade history and they see, oh, I sold this coin here and that has gone up in price. I need to go and check what has happened, because nobody sells out everything in one bulk. If you trade right, you put up nice orders, and when the orders start to get sold, you come back and you place Bitcoin buy support, below, and help the market grow. And hopefully nobody feel the need to take the profit right there and then. It's amazing how many people that have entered with 0.1 Bitcoin, and they have to take profit at 0.11. And that kind of behavior is, never good for the market in the long run. So it would be nice if people learned how to trade longer, be more patient, group together, plan better.
Do you believe, or do you think that having a trader's software is an asset to a person who is trading? Should they always trade by hand? I know we haven't talked about the OKCoin 20-time leverage trading, which is also affecting markets. But there is lots to be said about trading in the really, really small penny markets in CXC. Like with your software, it's a great starting point. People can throw in $15, buy your software. They can go to CXC, throw in $20, and you can trade on little teeny markets and see if you can get your position leveraged to higher instead of losing money all the time.
Yes.
And learning on little tiny bits of money, not going over to Bittrex and getting tromped on by the
yes, with $15 you can purchase a lot of shit coins that you can be sandbox training with until you feel that you can move over to more big boy currency like Quatloo or CXC or Litecoin or Bitcoin.
I had to throw the Paycoin in there.
I mean, Bitcoin is not really worth trading. There's too many that trades it, and there are too many that loses in that pair. So if you are a smart trader, you trade more in the shitcoin market, and you end up with a whole shitload of bitcoins anyway. And you can always sell them at some point. A little bit there, a little bit there.
Inside of your trade software, I got lots of questions, because I'm sure people who are looking at your software for the first time, who are going to go look at your software for the first time, they're going to be like, wow, what is this? What does this do? Why does this do it? Because it isn't something you're going to learn in just a half an hour.
No, it's excellent.
I've put a lot of time into it, give or take. I'm probably at 25 modest hours of using the software. I'm still a rookie for sure.
Yeah, but it is like a computer game. You need to start somewhere, and you become better at it and faster. And when you're obviously you make money when you trade right. So when your capital grows, you can afford to be much more aggressive. Also, when you become a great coin trader, you can enter and exit markets. You can enter a market at 6 and exit it at 11, and the market has still room to go up to 12. That is how a good trader trades. A bad trader, he just shorts it down many levels. A good trader, he goes from coin to coin. When I exit a market, it is because I'm going to put liquidity in another market. I'm going to come back to the market I exit at a later point if the buy support goes away. I'm going to trade it back up again. It is, for me that do this 24/7, been doing this now for a few years. I mean, it's a rhythm to everything.
So the question I was going to ask about your trader is scalp mode. What does the scalp mode do? I don't understand it because it just says scalp mode and it doesn't say. And I really need some clarification on what it tries to do in scalp mode.
Well, it tries to scalp. It tries to be the lowest sell and the highest buy all the time, and pick up the volume on the spread. Be number one on the sell side and number one on the buy side.
So it automatically tries to make your position better.
Yeah, it always it is a market maker position that well, it can be if you do it with volume, but if you do it with very small bids or asks, it's scalper. If somebody wants to buy 6 levels up, and you are in that with a scalper, you're gonna be bought out as well. And if somebody wants to dump, maybe you want to put your scalper like 50 Satoshi below bid, and if somebody really dumps, you can catch the end of the falling knife there. So you don't be the one on top all the time. But in a bull market, you want to be on top, because the market is moving, and when you are a bull market maker, you want to put enough liquidity also on the top there. You've seen the 1 Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoin, 5 Bitcoin bids that sometimes are on the top. Those are positions for others to sell down to in order to buy out people on the top there, and then the next thing will be to set a higher floor and go a little higher. I mean, the market of trade, the traders in coins are getting better and better at this. I see that. They weren't so good a year ago.
Do you think that's because they are more patient now, or because they are using your software now?
No, the software has nothing to do with it. The software is just a tool. If you're a bad carpenter, a faster hammer is not going to help you. You have to. I mean, patience is very important in this game. You have to be good at waiting and timing things. Look at the trend lines, and look at the time ahead. See if you have time for a nap. See if you have time to go out and have a dinner, before you have to go back in and take active positions again.
Something that I noticed in the software, maybe it's because of trading lingo. is that it asks to hold different positions while you're setting up just a normal regular ping pong. So it says Satoshi's below the top ask and Satoshi's above the top ask. Okay,
yeah,
so
it's just the two different sides of the book.
So when it's on the ask side of the book, it's asking. So when you want below the top ask, it's going to be underneath the top of what the selling position side is. And then when you want to be above that, you select above on the selling side. And so you have full control over that. So then the same thing happens on the buying side. You can go above that top bid or below that top bid. Now, what I've watched the software, how it places and then it pulls an order away. And I noticed once before when it was doing stuff, it was placing and leaving the orders and never pulling them. And I can't understand exactly the mechanic that's going on. Haven't studied it quite enough. But when it places an order, does it pull the order? Or what is it deciding there when it's doing what it's doing? When you just do a normal start ping pong?
Well, if you have ping pong, you can either have it to set permanent orders. Say there is a 600 Satoshi spread between buy and ask, a big gap there, and it doesn't make sense to just have a small scalper there on that huge spread. So you go in there as a coin manager and you put up sell walls and buy walls, and that's what that function does. But if you set it to just scalp, it will just put them there and remove them and put them there again and remove them. You know, if other move the price a little bit, it will move accordingly. Okay, now I understand that. Now, the stop value. Now, I've actually messaged you on this on the forums. You might remember I was asking about stops, some sort of thing where I can limit it. And I always was typing in my stop value as many coins as I had. I don't know if you remember. Anyways, do you have plans in the future to give us a little bit different of a stop system? As I would rather have, or might I suggest, the ability to tell the bot to continue bull running until it owns 10,000 of this coin, right? And there's no way to really tell it to do that. You can do that. You can? How do you? Is it a new version? I'm using 2.207. It's probably an older version, so I haven't updated on this computer for a while. Well, you just set the value differently. You set
Fyrstikken. I think I got it right for the first time, didn't I?
Yeah, congratulations.
Fyrstikken, the creator of Quatloo Trader. And I'm a big Star Trek fan, but we won't even talk about that yet. Let's keep it, because it's kind of funny, actually, the whole Star Trek thing. Because if you are like me and you appreciate what you've done and see this tool makes you feel like you're running the Enterprise, especially when you got 10 screens with Quatloo Trader all over them, and you got charts up and watching, and it's pretty interesting what happens when you really play with this software. So we're right at just talking about how the value, where you can put a stop value on how much or at what price you want it to stop placing bids, either in the selling or buying window. But what I had asked was, I'd like to be able to tell it, buy me 9,000 coins, or stop at 9,000 coins while it's doing a pump or whatever on my own, because I can do my own little pump if I find a coin that nobody's playing with, and as I mentioned, it isn't just me doing it, because as soon as I start playing, somebody else starts playing always. It's remarkable. So is that just not something that is really needed in the trader, that the value is more important because you want to stop selling at say 15,000 Satoshis, and then you would want to stop buying them at see, that's something I just haven't thought a lot about, is what is the right way to set up my trader to stop at a position where I would have went into a higher market or a lower market? Or is that just the fundamentals of the trader? There's so many different ways to set it up.
Well, I guess I really never thought of it to be used like that. I like to just pump it all the way up to the sky, and hope it never dies. But no, I mean that's the thing. I mean, you need to operate it, I mean, at least when you are doing a pump, you want to sit behind there and watch the thing going in your direction. But on scalping and some other, smaller things, you can run those things 24/7. I guess in the next update we'll have many of the things that people request enabled, because we got a lot of requests, and one of the things that we have wanted to release for a long time is a scripting language that is super easy for any idiot to write in, so that they can write their own algos and trade exactly the way they want. Because the Quatloo trader's core functionality is to buy and sell and place or remove orders, and with that you can do a lot if you put timers and readers and common sense and some intelligence into the play.
So then, just for people who don't understand how to operate the trader properly, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown from now what I've learned tonight, so it'll maybe make a little bit more sense to everybody. Is that we take one of the traders, and I'm going to do this in the smallest manner, because from one you can times it by 5 every time and make a very huge robot running crazy amounts of stuff. Okay, so you would take one Quatloo trader and you'd turn scalp mode off and off, and there you kind of want to set up your buy and your sell walls that are going to be static.
Yeah,
they're not gonna move around. And then you want to take another couple bots.
Yeah, you set up your parameters first. The buy and the floor and the roof where you're gonna operate in.
And then you take your smaller bots doing smaller trades, scalping with those. Then you can manage and watch your buy and sell walls.
Yeah, because your scalpers are gonna operate in the top market, and the bot, and it's gonna be the active. It's gonna be the top of the buy and the bottom of the sell. You want to be part of that small fish action. Your job from the start there is to manipulate the small fish into becoming big fish, and getting the big fish to become sharks, and getting the sharks to become whales.
I didn't even hear the dolphin thing there. There's no dolphins in that. The shark ate them all.
No, they're among the small fish.
Okay.
Friendly fish.
The friendly ones, yeah, the ones that are like, just throw me the high price coin. Come on, I'll buy more.
The dolphins are the smart asses from Reddit.
I've had some dwellings with Reddit, or Troll It, or whatever you want to call it.
Troll It, why not?
It can be interesting. I posted up there, and I got some comedian radio humor. Some acts.
And the
people
internet
are so fast
is
to
like
judge.
this. It is fun.
Oh, they're so fast to judge.
Yeah, well, that's how it is, isn't it?
I'm glad that there isn't any virtual guns on the internet. We'd actually be a really small population, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I would be the only one surviving.
It's absurd, those different places. So I've actually found other places maybe that are a little more insightful, like YouTube, to repost post, and Reddit. I've just made one post. I can't be bothered with dealing with troll-like activity constantly.
No, it's that can be tiring in the end.
And I'm actually going to have on a really, really big name in crypto.
Yeah, you're gonna get Satoshi Nakamoto finally.
I've had him on. I'm joking. The guy who thought he was him. No,
Dorian.
No. It's just a joke that we've kind of played around with. So it looks like I definitely have a super gigantic guest can come in that's been seen on the Kaiser show quite a few times here in the next week or so.
Well, it can be anyone.
Should be fascinating, actually.
It could be the Queen.
No, I talked to her last week.
Well, yeah, sure, me too. She said she told me to tell you hello.
And have you bumped into Bob Surplus? I've had Bob Surplus on. I've had Bradman TV on. I've had Iconic Expert on.
Yeah.
Bryce.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, the world of crypto is not that big, so I bumped into all those people from time to time.
And Bryce Wiener, actually. He's very
Is that his name, or is it Weiner?
No, it's Wiener. I've had him on air, so he said, yes, it's how it sounds. It's Bryce Wiener.
Well, all right. If he says it, then it must be true.
I have his replay. It isn't quite posted yet, but I'm almost got through all the editing, and he was quite the interesting chat. Not much unlike yourselves. I mean, there's a lot of people who, again, said don't have any idea what the QTL trader is, or they just have been caught up in a cesspool of trading and don't understand what to do. And so I've kind of, with you yourself, made a development suggestion for people who are starting in trading and who don't know what the heck's going on, is try out your software and go into the Cripsy penny or micro penny markets with just smaller amounts of money, and be more careful before you want to go and tread in the shark waters of Bitrex. Because if you don't know what you're doing there, you're going to get stomped. That's just the way it is.
Well, not really. I mean, it depends how you trade, but yeah, small coins are good, and small amounts. But if you're gonna train in a small sandbox where there is at least more people, like for example, in the Litecoin markets over at CryptC.
Oh yeah,
perfect place to just train. Go get some Litecoins. I think they are cheap now.
Oh,
get as many of them as you can, because they are a good tool to have in your box for trading and make more Litecoins in the Litecoin market. It's a base currency. It's you can have a lot of trading fun with Litecoins.
And you got to use QTL Trader though. The Quatloo Trader, or it's not even called QTL Trader. Forgive me if I'm.
Yeah, it's
Quatloo Trader.
Quatloo Trader, yes, Quatloo from quatloos.org.
which is part of Star Trek, which is a supercomputer jelly brain thing that played a game against them. What? I can't remember the episode 100%.
Yeah, it was the currency. It is a Triskelion Triskelion currency that was used in the Gamester of Triskelion episode. Forgive me if I don't say Triskelion right.
I don't know if that's... I know the episode. It's really neat. So your trader isn't part of the coin. It's just that you made this.
Yeah, I mean, the Star Trek thing didn't really do much for the coin when I got into it, So, I mean, the Quatloo trader is the reason that coin is alive.
Well, people don't understand. Yeah, it is absolutely right. That's why I bought into some of that coin. I own more than 3,000.
Yeah,
I don't quite run the arbitrage because I've tried it, and you need a lot of bitcoins. Like
if you had
10 or 15.
If you had 15,000 Quatloos and enough to run the arbitrage, and if you were just arbitrage in Dogecoin, I mean, you'd be making tons of bitcoins over the months. Just by having it sat there to its main job is to level the price of Dogecoin. Imagine that, somebody buys up a level on Cryptsy, right? So there are levels to be bought up on Poloniex and levels to be bought up on Bitrex. That's your job. And then you put the buy support there so it is on level with Cryptsy, So now you have 3 exchanges that have the exact same price on Dogecoin, and you own 2/3 of that pump because of you are the arbitrager there, and the rest of the market they believe that Dogecoin is now going up in price, which it is. So a few other participants are going to buy in now. Gives you room to level out, and take your profit where you see that fit. So it is a very profitable service to the market when you become an arbitrager.
It's a what to the market? Sorry.
Profitable service, because you risk your own money doing it, and it is a service to the market because you make sure that the price is leveled, so that if people want to go from an exchange to another exchange, they can get in and out at the same price in the same coin.
Nice. So when you're using the arbitrage system, so 15,000, which is like we said before, it's about $85 worth of QTL coins to be able to use it at this higher end feature. This isn't a little tiny feature. So what it would be the minimum for a smallest trader to try and do Dogecoin arbitrage with, like, could a person go in there with half or 0.1 of a Bitcoin and 50,000 Dogecoins, or you're going to need to have 5 Bitcoins and a couple million Dogecoins? Okay.
Okay. Arbitrage is a market maker's game. It is for big pockets, don't do it if you don't know how much
I just want
guts it takes. To be clear. There is a reason we take 15,000 Quatloos for people to use it, because you need to have a lot of cash to do good arbitrage, or else it will just be meaningless speculations.
But for a big trader who is wanting to just trade in something like Dogecoin, something that or even Litecoin for that matter, maybe Litecoin's a pretty good choice too. And if you got 15 Bitcoins to throw into the markets that you would have maybe screwed up otherwise,
you can do that.
You could run it.
have enough control. But remember, you need to have a certain amount of coins on both sides of the fence. So if you are doing your job in Dogecoin, you need to hold a certain amount of Litecoins and a certain amount of Bitcoins, a certain amount of dollars, and a certain amount of Dogecoin spread out to all the markets where you trade.
Yes.
And your job there is to not to work against the market, work with the market, and just fill the gap where the market has been sloppy.
Yep.
Make sense?
Yes, it does. So you have also, there's been some proposals of the CXC being added to the arbitrage.
Yeah, isn't CXC already added, or is it being added in next version?
I don't think it's... Well, I'm running 2.207, so I'm not sure if I'm updated enough to see.
Well, we've been working on our version release that is... that it's a big update thing that is gonna come soon, so just stay on Quatloo coin on Freenode and tap into the live information that is coming there about the new releases. Because, a lot of things have happened in the world of Exchange API also. I mean, we had CXC and Bittrex do big changes to their API for us to develop the cash register for cryptocurrency and use them. So... yeah, we're gonna modernize things and make it sharpen our tools and make them even better and more usable.
So far, I've been really happy with when I have needed to use it. I've learned a lot about being a little more careful with the arbitrage system, but now I've learned something even more beneficial is that if I want to play a large role in the Dogecoin or in a Litecoin markets, which are busy, and I have a lot of money to throw in there, that there is a good choice for me to try and use, which is your software in that mode on those what one might say are a little more stable markets. But it isn't something for you if you're just going to use 1 or 2 Bitcoins. No, you need 15 Bitcoins. And if you're going to do Litecoin to Bitcoin, you would need to have probably 1,000 Litecoins, I would say. And then spread out across 3 exchanges, right? Or 2.
Yeah,
two of them,
I mean, if you're gonna do it at Litecoin, I mean, you would have at least 1,000 Litecoins on each exchange just to be able to play that game great. And of course, you need to have 1,000 Litecoins worth of Bitcoins, dollars, euros, Dogecoins, whatever it is that Litecoin is traded against. And your job again is to make sure that the price is equal across all those exchanges. So I mean, that is a business, and it takes a guy to sit and do that job, for as long as he can, and it is not something you want to do, as a speculator. You want to try it if you feel like you're a good money manager. Try arbitrage. And if you're good at it, let me know who you are and what you do. If you're a great market maker, maybe you can be market making in coins I have an interest in. I'm always looking for trader talents.
It's really interesting. Sooner or later, wow, those vapes are terrible for drying you right out. When you're playing in markets with your software, I've noticed that, and I said this earlier, that something else responds to you. Now, sometimes maybe it was because I blew my cover and I said something about the market when I started playing with it, and then all of a sudden it got really busy. And the bots had a lot of fun. And I actually got to a point once where, I don't know, they were all trading against each other so fast. It was pretty fascinating.
Yeah,
I don't know if you... Yeah. Have you seen that happen to your own bots yet?
Oh, yeah, of course. That can be great fun. You know, when we had the release weekend of Quatloo Trader, everybody was starting to use it. And Bittrex, you know, that is a robust exchange that is, you know, that are inviting people to do a high-frequency trading, right? They had to throttle down the API response and shit, you know, because we basically armed 1,000 people with machine guns and said, hey, go crazy, have fun in the, you know, on Bittrex with coin trading, you know, and yeah, the volumes and everything went anarchistic in there. It became a war zone, really, and that was good because, you know, it create out of that, you know, out of all that coal came some really sharp diamonds, and we're gonna take cryptocurrency to the next level. You know, we are celebrating our days as the shitcoin industry, and we're gonna take it to shitcoins 2.0.
Are you ever gonna be able to add another coin to your interface to make it use more than one, or is it always just going to be solely QTL?
No, Quatloo Trader and Quatloos go hand in hand, and tokens for, you know, right now I'm very focused on checkout coin, because we are building a business around that coin and around the cash register project. And we're also going to release trading software in that environment and produce more tools inside the CXC system. So a continuation of all the great things that we have done so far will manifest itself in the CXC project. So for those that are interested in the future of cryptocurrency, and, you know, when it comes to point of sale systems that is really easy to implement, you know, join CXC on Freenode IRC and really be part of what we are doing there, because, you know, when we are making a cash register for cryptocurrency that accepts Dogecoin and Litecoin and Blackcoin and every cryptocurrency that you guys trade out there, you know, that is a revolution that is happening. It is not a small thing that is about to happen, you know, it is the big thing. Suddenly all these shitcoins have an output to products, just like Bitcoin. And
now, yeah, what it's going to generate right away is a whole bunch of market movement everywhere.
Yes.
Yes.
It will.
Because people are going to start cashing in their coins.
Oh, well, they will have to plan for that. You see, it is not that simple. You can't just go out and cash out your coin. Cash register is built, you know, to be brutally honest. Okay, so the cash register will override anyone and just be brutally honest with the customer and say, okay, you want to buy this pair of shoes? It costs $599. It's a beautiful pair of shoes. You want to pay with your alternative cryptocurrency? That's great. I want $599 worth of that cryptocurrency down the Bible.
So
out
you have
to Bitcoin and down the buy wall of Bitcoin, out to fiat and into fiat.
So you have marketing in place for the new software that you're putting out?
We have some marketing that we have in place, but we are a small fund. You know, we have spent most of our money on developing the cash register. So we want. I want the coin communities out there, from Dogecoin, from Litecoin, from Cryptcoin, from Cloak, from anything out there that
Did you just say
to back? Yeah. I mean, any coin that is on exchange that has a community backing it up with money in the buy walls, they now have something that goes along with the cash register that goes out to people. Their coin is suddenly a token that they can pay with if they want to. So the communities would respond with putting better liquidity in the buy book, pump their coins up to a right amount, so that it is possible to buy a pair of sneakers without bankrupting that poor coin community. Because the link I sent you, to the cash register there that you can play with, you can put in $599 and see what happens in that scenario if you're gonna pay with all these shit coins right now. You see that most of them don't have $599 in the buy walls. So they need to get liquidity, or else they will be the laughing stock of everyone.
So some max coins. I typed in real quick.
Yeah, you can't just fake your wealth with a high market cap anymore. You actually really need liquidity.
And it says that I'm going to need 72,000 max coins for $377. Wow.
Yeah, there you go. So you can laugh, but that's the truth, I mean, let's look at some other examples here.
Okay. That's pretty funny already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So $599 is like, okay, I'm gonna put that in here, and I'm gonna choose Digibyte, okay, and I'm gonna click submit here. If you want, you can share the link with the rest of the people too, so they can come in and play as well, and we can see if we break this.
I'm going to hear.
So
see if we can break it. It did take a minute. It sat there and, well, not a minute. It took about 10-15 seconds to pull up the price. Let's see if I got this.
Okay, so $599 I'm gonna pay with Digibyte. Okay, so let's say that Digibyte is the currency of Venezuela. Okay, so I'm now gonna pay $599 for a pair of Nikes. And I will need 9,149,228 Digibyte, and it will send the market volatility down by 17%. Oof. No, sorry, market effect 4%. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the US dollar go down 4% because you purchased a pair of sneakers? So yeah, there you see you need liquidity there. What else you got? What's your coin?
BitSwift.
BitSwift. What did you find there?
Market effect minus 59%. Market volatility is 30%. And I'd need 24,000 of them. Wow.
So I put $599 here, and I'm gonna buy the same pair of sneakers, but this time I'm gonna pay with Hitcoin. Okay. Now I get a bunch of red flags here because it says that market effect is 100%, which means that you can give me as much coin as there is, but there is not 599 down that buy wall, so just red flag, and it says red indicates that the exchange buy book would be entirely bought out.
Okay, so then you wouldn't accept that coin then in that event?
No, the cash register would already have that flagged. So in a real scenario, you would never have to deal with real shitty coins.
Okay, so let's go look at a couple more. Just curious. I want to buy $600 worth of cannabis coin.
Now this is good science right here. You get a good insight in the back end.
Oh, and it gets a red flag. I'm not surprised.
You do cannabis coin. I'm gonna do Canna coin. $599.
Well, Cripsy took a red flag, but Bittrex didn't.
Yeah, Canna coin has red flag on Bittrex and Poloniex, but on Cripsy it will only have a market effect of 0.05%. And I will need 35,453. So this is a great example here that, Cripsy is the volume exchange for this coin, Canna coin, obviously.
And of course, Dogecoin, got to do the Doge, right?
Yeah, Dogecoin. But here
very, very small market effect there. Like 1% I see.
Dogecoin is the best coin of all the alternative cryptos here in most cases. Sometimes Litecoin is better, but Dogecoin has fantastic buy supporters.
And Litecoin, let's go have a peek at it. Well, it took a bit for Litecoin to pop up. Actually, it looks like it's better to use Dogecoin or Dogecoin. Wow, I really triple duffed that. It's like a hat trick. Dogecoin is definitely the better choice right now to buy stuff.
Yeah.
So you could actually buy it with US dollars on any different websites, and then go and buy something in this in your new cash register system. If this is what it says, it's a cash register for cryptocurrency. So you can program this.
Litecoin, of course, is Litecoin, so it goes to Cryptsy unless it has a higher price on Bittrex or Poloniex. Every time you see the red flag there, that is a sign to the community that you have listing on another great exchange. Put some liquidity there, Don't put everything on Cryptsy just because it is fun to sit there in the troll box, Go to where the red flags are, because that is where you're most needed, Make sure that your coin is a good coin. Get people behind it, get money behind it. That's the only way these coins can survive in this scenario.
Oh, absolutely. If we don't have more spending, they're just going to become stagnant.
Yeah, they need to be tested in a merchant environment also. They've been tested in trading environment, and people get tired of it, so they need more outputs and inputs than they have had. And of course, what you see here is revolutionary, but it is also the next logical step in this coin world of ours. Let's look at Supercoin. I'm just gonna do $100 in Supercoin. Let's see what
I'm gonna look at. And I'm gonna look for the shittiest coin I can. Oh, Zeta.
If I pay $100 in Supercoin, the market effect is down 74%, man. On Cryptsy, that is.
Wow.
On Bittrex, it will only go down 47%.
Only.
So that's not the type of coin you would pay your restaurant bill with, you know.
I tried to buy $1,000 worth of Zeta coin. Bad. There's not even enough coins left there. What else is a terrible, terrible coin here? Paycoin. What's this?
Most of them.
Interesting. Paycoin. We had to. How did I miss that? It's kind of looking stable-ish, I guess. After the $20 hype crashed to the ground.
Yeah, Paycoin. I don't understand why people buy into those things.
Thinking they're going to be rich, I guess.
Yeah, wow. I guess.
And I'm actually surprised that a couple coins tried to buy $1,000 worth of Librex coin, and it worked out not too bad, just a 20% and 30% market change. This is really, really cool. It gives a really good insight. Oh, fuel coin. To what would happen if you had to buy something with $1,000 worth of coins. It might help you understand where your money should and shouldn't be.
And, it gives information, but, to different people, it gives different information. As an investor, I look at some of these coins, realizing that I can actually take a serious market cap here and put liquidity behind it, move the price up to a level where I can support it, and use that coin for payment and just let other people in over my support.
One of our listeners wants me to ask, what do you think is better, Litecoin or Dogecoin in the long term?
Litecoins, because it has a milder inflation.
Really?
Yeah.
How does that? I'm really blown away right now. I don't understand. How has Litecoin got less inflation?
Oh, it is. It's only going to be, what is it, 80 million coins or something in the end.
Okay.
And Dogecoin is printing out at least that per day.
All right. Yes, I understand then. So you're right, based on coin count and circulation. So, and if, there's not if, it's more like a when now that cryptocurrencies becomes much largely mainstream used.
I think Dogecoin is a great coin for extremely many things. As long as the community stays strong. As long as the arbitrage in that coin stays strong and level the price, and it is possible to purchase $599 worth of shit with Dogecoin, it's a good coin. As long as it can be useful. And from my research, and I've been looking into this a lot, I see Dogecoin as one of the absolutely best coin that you can pay with, for a normal household kind of things. It is not the kind of thing you want to purchase a Ferrari with. It's not that kind of money.
What it is... Ripples is not the Ripple coin, right? Or is it? Ripple?
Yeah. Ripple is Ripples.
Okay, Ripple is not too bad. What does market validity mean on the end, though?
That's how much it swings up and down in one day, in 24 hours.
Wow. So this is a back-end software that helps what the person spending their money in your system know what exactly. other than you shouldn't try and buy that coin to spend this, because you're going to kill the market if you try and, okay, I'm trying to understand what the function is of this website to the cash register system, other than this is more like the back end of what the cash register is going to be using to decide, no, I'm not taking your Zeta coins, because what am I supposed to do with those?
Yeah, basically what we are doing, what we are seeing now is live results coming in from exchanges over the API. And we do peer review, me and you now, looking at these numbers and seeing how it operates.
Are you in fear of somebody trying to copy your work?
No, they can go ahead and copy it and make something better if they feel like they can make it better.
So, but this is, again, I'm a big fan of brand new technologies that come out. Pardon me. And the Microsoft 10 and the Holo generator is fascinating in my books, and it goes right up beside, not quite as big of an invention, but not right now either, what you've just built. And what I can visualize really quickly is if this software just virally spread all over the planet, and then which coins, not just the software, which coins we spend, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? What are they going to spend? What do they see?
Well, you know,
it's going to be that Dogecoin. It's going to be it, because you would see it through the cash register system somehow, because it would be one of the most accessible, and then it would be the most spendable, and it wouldn't, the price of the Dogecoin would definitely start, things would just be interesting when it all started happening. But this is really the first of its software. There's probably, a few other ones developing similar software to you out there, but now this is pioneering the way to be able to put up a cash register and say, hey, I accept all these cryptocurrencies. Come and spend them here with me. And you know what? If you try and spend one with me that's junk, my machine won't accept you or accept it. It'll just give it back to you.
I'll give you a little bit of information about my head of development in this project and in Quatloo Trader. You know, he is approved by Homeland Security to handle nuclear reactors. That's the guy that has been making all my designs come to life, you know. Not every developer in cryptocurrency are approved by Homeland Security. They are barely approved by Crypto Asian.
Well, I know that I actually journeyed over to the CXC channel, and I also had a peek at the Quatloo coin channel, and I have been asked to ask you another question about Quatloo. Sure. And I've been trying to stay away from it because I know they want to hear about the cash register and the CXC, and we'll get back to a couple more questions on that. But he is asking, I actually wanted to ask you this too. Once you're done developing this, are you going to do a few more updates to the Quatloo Trader?
Yeah, I have a few things I need to update it with, and we have a version that is almost ready to be released after this, you know, with a few perks and new updates. And yeah, of course, we are not done with anything. We are just keeping on making more tools and building up this product for all of us to enjoy. I mean, we're building, like, you know, the Internet of Money now, and we're gonna hook it up to the Internet of Things that we are, you know, that other developers are working on, and we are you know, we are building the network of exchanges with this arbitraging, you know, and the communities, and you know, it's a lot of things that we are doing. I think I'm gonna be gray-haired man in this industry here, so. You know, The CXC cash register, you can implement it into vending machines if you want. Have automatic accept cryptocurrency, in a vending machine. You can put it into ATM machine, it's very flexible. And Quatloo Trader is a coin management program that will make sense when you see it from, the perspective of a controller in a big supermarket with 26 cash register ladies sitting there with and making beep sounds all day long. Somebody in these big places need to administrate the coin flow and make sure that the store is making good bets and bids on their crypto economy and whatnot. Sooner or later, we're going to have so many of them all hooked up to cryptocurrency that at some point, that's all they're going to be using. And the banks, well, they will make their own ledgers of dollars and cents that will come out to the crypto environment. They'll find their way out to us. But it won't be the same as it was before. That makes sense.
Well, I'm really happy about having something like this being developed, because at the rate that it looks like it's going, it looks like it's going to take forever for anything to move forward, because it's like, how are you supposed? Yeah, do you see it, sense it too a little bit?
No, well, I tend to think that I'm part of the movement of I'm part of the pioneers that is creating the next big things and the movement and the waves. If the market like cryptocurrency and want to use it, this
it seems like a lot of the cryptocurrencies themselves are so caught up in themselves that they forget that it's gentlemen like yourself who are making really huge things happen, offering finally, another portal system to be used as a cash register system, which is going to be on, now we haven't even went over that, it's going to be on Android and Apple devices. Is that correct?
Well, the first one's going to be Windows. We're making it in .NET and for Windows, because most controllers use Windows. So that is the core.
So this isn't going to be a real mobile. It's going to be for a store.
Well, yes, it's going to be this version here is for web shops and that integration first, because that is where most people had a real need, was to hook their web shops up to crypto payments. So that is what we will do initially. Then we're gonna do version upgrades and then spread it out to more platforms as we go along.
Well, I can see the basically people should have learned a huge amount there by observing your website, which I gave the link in our hashtag DogeCoinDart, to go and try out the interface that we've been talking about. A few people have had a look at the QTL trader tonight to just observe something that they have never seen before, or didn't even know that your trader program existed. This, and I've mentioned, and I tried to mention that before, about there's a lot of really new traders still around who have no idea that your software exists, and that maybe in the update you can have they can use it for 15 days before they own any QTL coins, and then after that they have to buy some, right?
Well,
a time bomb would be easy to program.
They don't need to start with 3,000. They can purchase the minimum amount of
Is it a
Quatloo.
2,000 or is it a 1,000?
Oh, I think it's 1,000 or something for the just to
like
trade manually with it.
$5.
Yeah, come on. If you can't spend $5 on a trading program worth thousands of dollars, then you have nothing to do in trading.
And let's talk about that effect, because this is completely off wall. It's nothing to do with anything we spoke about. So your software and the way the crypto market is right now, and it's slow, and we haven't had a wave of a whole bunch of new traders or a whole bunch of new people wanting to use your software. So if people get into it now, even just a little bit, and then take some of our suggestions that we've said tonight, go into smaller markets, the Litecoin markets with the little Satoshis, use Cryptsy, open up 5 of his traders. No, don't just open up one. I'm like trying to tell you how to be effective using this thing. Open up 5 of them, set them all up differently, press play. be careful, but play on the little teeny stuff.
You mean like a flash dance in an order book? We could do that. We could arrange that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we do that? Demonstrate the effect of the Quatloo trader?
I don't know if we could do that. You have lots of time to.
Well, okay, let's call it crazy hour, in your favorite coin, and invite invite everybody to just come in and trade crazy for 15 minutes. They don't need to go all in with everything, just go in with a little and just say we're gonna have an hour of capture the flag,
Capture the flag.
Why not? Why not? I mean, we can have some games and some wars going out in the order book. We are all children inside, I think.
Yeah.
Bot
only
wars.
Problem, I guess, but and you're right. I don't know how many of our listeners are prepared to use the QTL program, or you
can give them a week, train them, and count down to the big event. Get Cryptsy and Bitrex to sponsor the event, and your listeners can sponsor. Get an advertisement spot. In the show. We can comment. Sit on the sidelines and talk about. From like football commentators do. It could be fun.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a ideal like a little trading party for just listeners.
Yeah. But I think an event like that would. I mean, ask your listeners if it would be fun. A crazy hour, flash mob trading crazy, and some shit coin that is about to die or something.
Well, we're gonna talk about that. That's so funny.
Let's take Hobo Nickels for example. One crazy hour in Hobo Nickels.
I know somebody who used to swear by how that coin was so profitable. Hobo Nickels.
Yeah, it's just a coin for homeless people.
They're actually so far I said I'm down for some bot wars has been one comment. Another is QTL is good, just have to spend some time understanding how to use it effectively. But this is the whole point of what we're talking about, is that we're going to be able to kind of help you a little bit with that when we do it. To a crappy little Litecoin trading.
Yeah, it is like an advanced machine gun, I mean, first you have to unwrap it, and then you have to put in the bullets, and then you have to start shooting and hitting the targets, and learn that there is something called a recoil. Yeah, I mean, that software there was written for a reason, and if you become good at it, you can. You can own them every time. You can just be sitting there cashing out tens and thousands of dollars on a monthly basis, just playing that game right. Just see there is 300 to 1,000 bitcoins volume on Bittrex every day, right? Somebody is taking out a profit every day.
Mm-hmm. A large profit.
Well, not too greedy. That is important. That is important. Okay. If you're gonna be a good trader, okay, sometimes, okay, I'm speaking out of experience. Sometimes you end up with everybody's liquidity in your pocket. Okay, you become so good at it, and you time it so perfect that you end up with all their bitcoins, and they end up with all, too many shitcoins, right?
Yes.
Now, if you want to be a good trader, you don't want to be that greedy. You understand me? You don't want to. If you come back to the playground the next day and everybody's at a huge loss because of you, nobody's gonna play with you no more.
Yeah.
So, if you see that you can take a 200 Bitcoin profit, okay, you can think about, do you really need 200, or is 100 enough? Or is 50 enough? Or should you support the market? What kind of position is it that you're building, and what type of market is it that you want to leave behind? I think we're gonna see the market's gonna mature more. It's gonna be more serious players coming into the scene, and more serious money is gonna be established in the Bibles as well. Don't you think altcoins have a future?
Yes, huge. This is only the start. We've just seen. Okay, you like Star Trek, right?
Well. Yeah, I watched it.
That was the wave one. That was all we just saw. First initial wave of the Bitcoin. It just pumped up and hyped up for like almost a year, and it's been kind of quiet now.
Yeah,
it's chilling, right? And somebody, I saw a stat: 85% of people involved in the technology world are in Bitcoin. BS. We're 8.5% maybe. I've talked to a lot of people in different sectors of programming for all kinds of different things. Bitcoin is not on their mind. Bitcoin is a little bit smaller than everybody seems to get a grasp on, and those all involved, and especially those people actively trading, just wait till round or phase 2. When the public suddenly, for some reason, which I can't understand or forecast, is just going to become interested in Bitcoin again. And when that happens, we're going to have a massive wave of tens of thousands of new little small traders. And I think
if you put
what you're describing though is, I agree with you, we are going to see a small wave of some really big medium-sized players come into the game here in the next 6 months to a year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you will see a lot of new players coming in this year. I see, I count, I see the numbers of new users registering on exchange every day. That is a bullish sign that new players are coming in with fresh dollars.
Mm-hmm. But the other part of what, to answer your question specifically, is yes, I see alts playing a huge role because it's gambling. and human brain species addicted to gambling. So what are they going to do if they're small players? They're going to go to the small markets. And where's one of the strong, small, stable markets of the three titans we mentioned? CXC, Polo, and Bittrex.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then that is places where you can get listed also. I mean, they are development-friendly exchanges. Don't forget that many of our coins are good experiments that we have agendas for, long-term agendas. So, just because not everybody understand everything the first week of things, once a product comes to the market, they'd be like, so that's what you guys were doing, yes, that's what we were doing. Sorry if you thought it was some scam thing, but the market is weird sometimes, isn't it?
Yes.
They rather invest $30 million into a pay coin because a preacher said so.
I want to put a different perspective on that. There was an investment from somewhere of that to attract much more money into that at a higher value to that. It's just like these ICOs we see sometimes on these other exchanges that just sell out 3,000 Bitcoins instantly. Like, really?
Yeah, I don't believe it. I've seen people blow up balloons at parties, clowns blow up these balloon animals, and twist it. It's the fucking same thing with these ICOs.
I have another question for you. What about something about this Doge coin? DOJE coin? Do you know the coin I'm talking about?
Yes, Doge coin.
Okay, and something that it was 30% pre-mined? Am I just being trolled?
I have no idea how much it was pre-mined.
And what is that coin for or about? I don't keep up that much.
Dogecoin was a joke coin that a couple of developers released. I mean, it was, I mean, it has Dogecoin logo. Its name was DOGE, Doge. Had the exact same specs as Dogecoin. Same wallet.
Really. Well, look at Mooncoin.
The only thing it was that it had the opposite, mirrored logo, and it was.
I'm just gonna throw this out there real quick about doing because I think that's a great idea, and I need to type that in. A bot. How would you do it? A power hour of botting on a shitcoin, and I have a perfect shitcoin suggestion now. This is funny because it's a disabled wallet shitcoin, so nobody could screw around, right?
That's cool.
But it's sad because what we're talking about relates to Mooncoin. Mooncoin copied the Dogecoin, and it looks like it's a coffin coin, I like to call them. So much not unlike the other coin that tried to copy Dogecoin. It's just not going to work if you copy a coin in its exact specs. We've been there, done that. Right now, there's I call them the three titans. Well, there's the same thing in cryptocurrency, and if people are blind to it, I've actually had people tell me they think Litecoin is going to get replaced somehow. I'm like, really? And the three titans, but the three titans of crypto right now are Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Dogecoin.
They're basically, yes.
And when we see adoption in the next 2 years, 5 years, those are going to be the initial public coins being used, unless we as crypto users screw something up with one of those three coins.
Yeah, basically you have all an obligation to yourself and each other to not screw this up.
Well, We could. I mean, if something went wrong with Litecoin development or the Dogecoin development, that would be the only thing that would ever have anything like that replaced. Like, it's like a superpower in crypto, and then people just don't seem to grasp the concept of, no, you're not going to replace that coin.
Well, the Dogecoin people took action. I was proud to see that they changed everything that they were doing and became a merged mined coin with Litecoin. That's a much better idea than what they were doing. They were so vulnerable to 51% attack there, and scam attack. I mean, I literally was looking at several ways to destroy Dogecoin just by width. And I told people about that in on a open microphone, kind of like this, and guess what happened to Dogecoin? It got shorted down to almost nothing again, and they redid everything and sharpened up, and that is a good sign. Dogecoin took action for their own existence, and that is honorable. I like to see that, because Dogecoin came in as a joke. It fell down into the valley of death and was brought up again from there by pure willpower and a lot of money.
Yes, and a good development team. I mean, if you can have all the money in the world, you could have nothing to right beside it.
They're not a good development team. Come on, who are you trying to kid here? Have you looked at what they've done? I mean, it's not anything to scream hooray from.
Well, I can't call it just luck. It was a joke. I can't call it just luck.
No, it wasn't luck. It was a guy named Bolong that came in with a lot of money and an ego that was 110% his own.
But it was feasible. It was feasible in a market that demanded such a coin. And that's what happened. We all wanted a place where we could buy a coin less price than a Litecoin and know that our money wasn't going to get shit on. That's what happened. It's hype, the people's response to it. It isn't just them, it's us too. It's everybody. Yeah. We are a buying and selling demand in it. So
yeah, no, I'm not saying it is something bad, but it came in as a joke. Okay, like
it did. I never forget what one of my partners said. Oh, my daughter said that's a joke. And I actually stopped. I stopped mining it. I stopped mining it. I started mining it like 2 days before Christmas or something like that. And I stopped mining it on Christmas Day. I went away for holidays for like 2 or 3 days, and I got home and I'm like, what the heck am I doing? I'm mining that coin again. And I was back on it ever since after that. So like
I like Dogecoin a lot. I had a falling out with some of the people in Dogecoin's community a while back over something that became way too personal on IRC. So you know how it is.
Oh, I know. It's
but the fact remains that Dogecoin has a great support. And as the developer of the cash register for cryptocurrency, look at this here. It is really, really a good currency to pay with, and that is a good sign, for Dogecoin. In fact, it is such a good sign that the Dogecoin community could reward itself by just pumping it up to a higher highs in the future, just to have a better liquidity, invite even more people in and say, hey, this is Dogecoin. And everybody that is in Dogecoin, serious people that are in Dogecoin, can help spread the CXC cash register to more merchants. help their coins reach out to more stuff people can buy, more reasons to mine Dogecoin and get into Dogecoin.
Which is good for a steaming market, of course.
Yeah. But Dogecoin and many, every other altcoin never had a fair chance to succeed on their own. They were always bound to either Litecoin or Bitcoin or both.
And a very small buying market.
Yeah, exactly.
And the only place you can spend them is in the market.
Yeah, I mean, they have no other output than that. I mean, it's like, nothing but shit coins. Basically, you're kicking each other, and that's it. Somebody is trying to fly, other is trying to land. Welcome to shitcoin land.
Yeah, it's definitely predominant all over the markets. I see, and the IRC thing. Let's get right to it then. So, I have done a whole bunch of. I didn't want to get into doing broadcast radio without knowing a little bit. Okay.
Of course.
So I did a lot of research, and I mentioned to you, and I've said before to viewers that I like history. So I've been studying Bitcoin intently for about 2.5 years now. I started a little bit right at the start, of course, like everybody else. Forgot about it like everybody else. And so when I approached it this time, I went rummaging through all of Facebook, every single Facebook group, and I'll tell you this. There isn't a lot of Bitcoin Facebook groups out there. There isn't. I know every single one of them practically. And then I can count them all on my 2 hands. Now, then I researched Twitter inside out, every single thing about it. Every person that I could. And not paying attention exactly to everybody, just looking for significant links, paying attention. So, of course, and having a desire to trade, of course, a little bit. That's where I stumbled onto your software. And then I've done a little tiny bit of Reddit stuff, and like posting on Reddit's like painting this huge, can you throw a nuclear bomb at me, please? Right? That's what posting on Reddit's like. Or machine gun me. Just machine gun me right now.
Yeah, it is a place for sadomasochists to meet with sadists.
There's definitely some sort of sodomy going on there. Anyways, on the troll it, instead of being troll it myself anymore, the IRC. So I've had some really super interesting experiences in IRC, and I have my really choice right now. I'm choosy, picky. I've seen there's a whole bunch of them, but right now I'm residing in the black coin, the dark coin, the light coin, and the Dogecoin dark. And did I say Dogecoin? I did say Dogecoin, I think. So I'll tell you what, man, I've had my ass kicked in every single channel for posting, hey, I'm doing a crypto radio station under the watchful eye of the Dogecoin Dark. And they're like, oh, don't promote your coin here. And I'm like, I'm not promoting the coin, actually. I'm doing a radio show about cryptocurrencies. And thankfully, one of the cryptocurrencies was able to flip the bill for bandwidth for our radio broadcast, because I can't afford it, right?
Yeah.
And just things kind of came together, and it's like, boom, we have this radio show. So I've kind of been accepted a little bit in a few of the IRC communities, but I really understand what you say when people all of a sudden got things to be personal over text messages inside the internet, which I don't understand, because it's just it draws a mind blank for me. It's like trying to tell a 5-year-old, no, you can't have a glass of chocolate milk right now. Why? no, you can't have a glass of chocolate milk right now, and they just want to go on with their constant whatever bantering or superiority or collectivism and just continue to be strange, I guess, or unfriendly. I say that I sense an unfriendly nature in Bitcoin, and that needs to change, especially if we want to see mass adoption and people happy about using Bitcoin. Because my little catchphrase about Bitcoin is right now, every time I ask somebody about it, they look at me like the music from The Exorcist just started. But it's not cool. They're just scared.
No, but that's okay. I mean, look at the newspapers when they were writing about the internet. But before they knew what the internet was gonna be for them, look at their theories. Look at their philosophers.
I was just the unfriendly Bitcoin should write a book about it. I'm gonna, with all my research. The craziness of what happened in the birth of Bitcoin, the people.
I think that is a book that needs to be written. The dark chapter of cryptocurrency, all the scammers, all the IPO,
well, maybe
people
not so.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't focus on those events. That's not what I'm looking at. But they need to be in a book somewhere that can be read and then put in the shelf, and we can say that we are finished with that part of our history and can move forward to more profitable markets and make these coins really something that the world will appreciate. A wiki.
More than a wiki, a revolution of payment processing.
That's coming. Nobody seems to understand that no matter what we do, that's coming. Digital electronic currency is coming. No matter how skeptical I play sometimes, where I say the public is just like nightmare and horish against it, it doesn't matter. It's coming anyways. Why is it coming? I'm still not even sure. Because our governments need to be accountable in the future, because this is the only way that they can make us accountable. I'm not sure. I don't understand. But when you have a major shift in policy on a planetary scale, it isn't just a small little tiny thing that's going on.
No, I mean, us nerds have been working for this for quite some time, while the non-nerds have been watching from the outside, looking at our price indexes and thinking that everything we do is all about price indexing, but it's part of it, but and it is an important part of it. But then there is all this other cool technology that we've been able to develop because of all these price indexes. Obviously it has been to some degree profitable to do block technology, right? And others have put in their own money to a big degree, philanthropically, to support technology development in this space. So and then you have some others that have gotten too much money for developing stuff that is.
What I was going to bounce around back again is that, and I'm sorry to even pry at the whole situation, but you see, how are we going to get everybody to start promoting your product and supporting his product and promoting his product if everybody is always pointing at each other and saying boo, 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 when the only way it's all going to work is when we have a whole bunch of people and it's actually sort of coming together, and they haven't even really seen it yet. There's like five or six larger groups that could work together in crypto, and the movements that could start happening would be incredible. No, if you can, my big statement always is you'll never solve one person will never achieve greatness. No, impossible. But with using a collaboration of a few different people or even a dozen people to one centralized system to make decisions and choices, yes, you're going to have something. But trying to achieve greatness by yourself,
But the beauty of what we do here is that we with the cash register and all, we're letting the market play its own game the way they want it. As I told you earlier, we basically give people the opportunity to make a heroin shop somewhere on the
That's
internet.
a no-brainer, though. You give them a way to start being able to sell sell any coin and every coin that's going to be used. Absolutely.
Yes. And that is the start of it, and then regulation of exchanges and all that thing is going to come in later. But it is a good way to test it out, You can sell anything and get money from anyone in cryptocurrency.
So do you think that your new software, I'm going to ask because I want to know, do you think it's going to help stimulate that market that has been missing from crypto, which is illegal drugs, all like everything, like Silk Road went down because they had a shitty system, and I'm going to say it right now because those hashtag Bitcoin trolls, that they just, I'm scared to post a link in there. Channel right now. They're like, suicide. Suicide. Well, now, is this going to make
became a very big centralized place here on the internet.
If he was using your system that you have now, and at multiple locations.
Well, yeah, you can imagine that, the cash register is just a cash register hooked up to exchanges. That, if you register with us with a Hushmail address, there's no way in the world we know who you are. And if you do the same thing with exchange, there is no way they know who you are. So you can basically try to be anonymous and, if you want that. Personally, I would never open something like that. I would open a normal web shop, sell, expensive products to rich people that can afford it.
So if we take your product right now, like I'm really trying to develop on this a whole bunch. So if we took your product and if I moved to Bangladesh, which is probably the worst place to sell drugs from, but I'd have like my opium. It'd be like opium, and I'd have like 18 different shops everywhere. But what I'd probably try and encourage, though, and forgive me if I may, and I want to. So if we take a coin like Dogecoin Dark that can hide its IP address on receive and sends, and protect the wallet behind an IP address, or pardon me, behind a really exotic mixer. I'm not going to quote everything about it right now because it's way above my head. But I'm more into anonymous currency right now because I can see something else that's coming, and that's kind of like what we've been discussing a little bit about the ability for people to start selling stuff on the internet. Everybody's like, say heroin again.
Yeah, but it is a good example because it shows one of the far left side of the internet. Yeah, you can sell that. You can also sell guns, anonymously if you want that. But you can also run a legit business. It is up to the person that operates it, I guess.
What I want to know is that because you've told us the two things where you can do your email with this and host your service here, but what about the coin that you're using now? Because you probably know that Darkcoin is trying to have an anonymous mixer in there, and I know that from experience that the Dogecoin Dark already is doing it. So is there going to be an advantage to using anonymous coins that were developed to be running anonymous on the internet in your system.
Well, you sure if you can you get them anonymous to the exchange. Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, because so then I would spend my coins at your terminal, which would hopefully that transaction there, I'm not sure if I can even quote to that matter, would be an anonymous transaction, even though that'd be...
I mean, my goal is to have an uninterrupted cash register. I mean, yes. I want it to be so crystal clear that you can set up a shop and get paid and get that payment safely to an exchange, because the reason for that is it costs too much money to set up servers to handle all the wallets for a merchant.
So it'll be dependent on the merchant then. The merchant.
Yes.
So
because I don't want to have a register of customer information that I need to hand over to somebody. You know, I mean, I'm making a software that you can use for good or for evil. You know, what you do is your own business.
So when you do it, so when somebody buys off your site, if you're using an anonymous coin, then obviously it's going to be an anonymous transaction all the way through using your software. And being able to buy anything and open hopefully a whole new avenue of more goods to be available. I'm not going to say heroin either, but
no, it can be cocaine.
Yeah, and spaceship parts and
spaceship parts. Yeah, exactly.
Your pizza for 10,000 bitcoins.
Kalashnikovs. Jet plane, you know, whatever it is that you sell, you know, you're not gonna stop selling it. So
and then when you purchase at that person's website with one of those altcoins, that website's gonna take those altcoins and it's gonna sell them to the market and turn them into Litecoins or Bitcoins, all automatically.
Well, yeah, and the cash register can do a few more things than that from, you know, out of the box. Plus, we're gonna keep developing this. You know, it's gonna be something that anybody can run on an old PC with the Windows on it. I mean, aren't you tired of seeing that everything out there, you know, costs so freakishly much money for people that gonna start up a business? I want to change something about that. You see, you know, I started my business when I was a young boy, you know. I remember buying the cash register for my first store. It cost a fortune. You know, just the startup cost alone was a fortune, you know, when it came down to establishing the rest of the business. You know, I felt like, wow, I got ripped off by the government and all their friends. So I want to reduce the cost of operating. You know, I realize that there is a lot of unemployment and civil unrest in the world. A lot of people need to think new thoughts in their head about how to survive their new reality because of the war and all of the lawlessness that we see is happening now. A lot of new entrepreneurs need to find new income sources. You know, and being on the move. I mean, millions of people right now are literally on the move. They will have to be established somewhere, you know. And I think that the cryptocurrency and the cash register for cryptocurrency will be helpful to everybody. I mean, I can live with that.
I can live with that for sure. It's really neat, actually. It's just a different feature. So what will this do to those portal systems that are doing stuff like that?
The portal system? What do you mean?
Where you can use all different other coins to buy stuff as well.
You mean the web shops?
Yeah.
Well, let's say you already have a web shop, right? So you accept credit card already, or PayPal or whatnot, you know. I mean, in that same picture there, you just install a script that lets you pay with cryptocurrency. So you add that to your checkout.